Hello and welcome to a brand new video. We dive back into the world of Paragon to bring you a very valuable guide on something we all want to know how to do, which is, of course, raise the chances of winning every game of Paragon that we actually play. The biggest and most impactful play you can make many times throughout every Paragon match is a simple one. Abuse your advantages, be they small or big. I'm going to refer to these throughout the video as windows of opportunity. These are, in essence, potential advantages for you and your team. They're going to happen many times throughout every game of Paragon that you play. Obvious windows would be the time that the enemy are dead, for example, perhaps after a successful fight that ended in your favor. Less obvious windows are when the enemy has just rotated to another lane to defend it. Maybe you've just got a ward in the right place, or maybe the enemy jungle is far away and you happen to know that. Today we're going to cover what to do with these brief but very important windows of opportunity. First up, a super obvious one to get the ball rolling. Every structure you kill makes the enemy core slightly or even massively more vulnerable. If you've managed to win a fight and the enemy are distant from their tower, don't just go back and heal and spend. While they can't stop you, push that tower. Your objective is to make it easier to kill the core. And you may not even kill the tower you're pushing now with this small moment of opportunity that you have, but it's important that you make it easier to kill in the future. If you only have, let's say, 30 seconds before someone can stop you pushing a tower, that's still at least 20 seconds that you're completely safe to push. If you've not got enough time to get in there and hit the tower yourself, you can still push the lane and let your minions do huge damage and just get them to that tower. The key is to get in and out while it's safe to, in that window. Practice is going to make perfect, so maybe every time you see this chance and this moment, give yourself a little timer in your head before you have to leave. The more you do it, the more accurate that timer is actually going to become, and you're going to get a better game sense for how long you have before the enemy can arrive to stop you. Next we have jungle camps. They spawn at level 1, and then these white camps are actually going to grow in level and power every 2 minutes after. We have levels 1, 2, and 3. Level 1s are fast and easy to kill, rewarding good XP. Level 2s are slower to kill, but they will reward slightly better XP. Finally, the level 3s are even slower to kill, but well worth the time thanks to their huge XP value. What's really good to know is that 2 level 1s are worth more than 1 level 2. Meanwhile, a level 3 is actually worth more than both and are of extremely high value. Often it's actually better to let a level 2 grow into a level 3 instead of just killing it, and then go back and kill that level 3. Now that's some good information, but linking this to windows of opportunity is important. In any lane, you're going to have moments that you have to back up and wait. Don't waste that time standing there. Hop into the jungle and kill some nearby white camps. This is going to keep your farm going when it could have stopped completely, and with the new information about camp levels, it's massively impactful to try to time this. For example, purposely push your lane so that you have a safe moment to go into your jungle. But even better, do this when you know the nearby camp that you're going to go kill is already level 3. If you can pull this off, we're talking about extremely big CXP gains if you can continue to do this throughout the entire game. And the best carry players are doing this. Following up on that previous point, I'd like to share something with you that I've recently started doing at the higher levels of Platinum, but I wish I'd started doing ages ago. This tip may in fact be the most useful one in the video. At times that window of opportunity is not going to be long enough to actually push a tower. This is when you can invade the enemy jungle instead. The enemy jungle has those valuable buffs and of course the white camps. So why would you let the enemy have them? After a kill or a push, or you just know the enemy jungle isn't near, dive into their jungle, steal their whites, especially those level 3s, and if you can, take their buffs. That's a lot of XP that you can get that you otherwise never would have. And while you're at it, you're actually stealing it from the enemy, causing them to farm slower, and you'll get further ahead at the same time. The more you do this throughout a game, the more impact it's actually going to have. The main bit of advice I can give you specifically to this is try to do it when you know the enemy's jungle has level 3 whites to steal. If you're managing to use both tip 2 and 3, you're going to be chomping level 3 whites throughout the entire game, and your XP gains are going to be massive. And of course, while you do this, you make the enemy fall behind too, because you're stealing their farm. I can't say this enough. Try it out in your games. I promise you, you're going to see results in how fast you actually farm up. Number 4 is black buff. Black buff will cause a damage over time effect to trigger on structures. Simply tap a tower and then watch it burn. Black buff itself is yet another camp that you can kill for CXP, more so if it's a level 2 or 3. It's going to make a push early game much easier, and it's going to make killing an inhib a breeze. The key is knowing when to actually take black buff. If you think you're going to use it soon, but not actually the moment you kill it, maybe it's better to wait and then kill it when you know you're going to push. Or the opposite, if you think the enemy are actually wanting to try and use black buff in a push soon, you can kill it and so they don't have the power of black buff in their push. Or maybe you've managed to kill Prime and you've got black buff at the same time. Let me tell you, Prime and black buff, you'll kill a core in seconds with or without minions. Black buff is an extremely powerful buff and it spawns every 4 minutes, or even levels up every 4 minutes. The best players are always keeping track of when it's alive and when to potentially use it in the following push. Finally, I should mention, it's best to put black buff on a ranged character. The damage won't change based on your stats, so giving it to someone who has to take less of a risk to actually hit a tower is always better. Finally, number 5, Prime is the most common and known window of opportunity. Commonly, players try to grab him in the late game after the enemy have just lost 1 or 2 team members in a fight. But Prime can also be used to bait the enemy. For example, at times, the enemy will hide behind their towers when you're ahead, making it harder for you to actually push and win the game. So close out a game much faster by attacking Prime with no intention of killing it. The trick is to do it so they have to come stop you instead of risking losing the game. At which point, you all stop attacking Prime and go straight for the enemy who are now nearby, who can't hide behind their tower anymore. After you clean up because of your advantage, you can then turn around, kill Prime, and then take the win. Hell, Prime can even be taken when the enemy team are actually all alive. You just need to know that their key players are elsewhere on the map through wards or maybe even basic vision. Knowing that they're too far away to actually get there in time to stop you, you can kill Prime without much of a problem and then suddenly push your advantage. However, all of these plans require good team play. In most matches, when you're not working together as a team in a part of a 5-stack, for example, you're going to struggle because of lack of communication. Try to bridge that gap by pre-warning your team. Let them know you plan to attack Prime soon, to be ready to come straight away when you call to attack Prime, no matter what it is that they're actually doing. Perhaps you're actually planning not to kill Prime, but bait the enemy, so give your team a heads up first in chat, so they know when they see you stop attacking Prime, they should stop as well and actually come help you. Of course, this won't always work, but it really, really helps. The biggest problem with Prime right now is that when you have that window of opportunity to kill him, it takes your team too long to actually finish what they're doing and come help you. Pre-warning them can lessen that chance of happening. And there you have it, 5 ways you can abuse your windows of opportunity to farm faster, push harder, or even just win that game. I hope they helped. If it did, I'd love it if you'd share the video with a friend who could maybe benefit from it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time in Paragon.